Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I want to talk about expectations of junior engineers, right? So the reason why I decided to talk about this topic is for a lot of people that are just getting into software development, I find out that they don't know exactly what is expected of them, right, as an entry level engineer or as a junior engineer. So I'm going to be sharing a few of the things that I think are expected from junior engineers because I think understanding these expectations can make a huge difference when it comes to confidence and even when it comes to career growth because you know exactly what to focus on at this phase in your career and what not to focus on. So let's dive right in. The first thing that I think is an expectation for junior engineers is basic programming knowledge, right? I think this goes without saying, right? You can't call yourself a software developer, whether junior, senior, or mid level, without having some level of programming knowledge. And since we are talking about junior developers in this case, right, I think it's okay for you to just have the basic knowledge about programming, things like loops, variables, control structures, and things like that. At least, right, on a basic level, you should understand what these things mean. I don't expect to be working with a junior engineer and I have to be explaining what a for loop does or what the difference between a while and a for loop is. I shouldn't be explaining to you what variables are used for, right? So on a basic level, you should understand all these things. So number two is basic knowledge of data structures and algorithms. I know some people are surprised to hear that data structures and algorithms is a prerequisite or is a requirement for junior engineers. Now, let me quickly debunk a particular myth. Most people think that when we talk about data structures and algorithms, it only comes to play when you are interviewing with big tech. No, that is not the case, right? Yes, big tech makes use of data structures and algorithms as part of their interview process. But you need to understand that having a good understanding of data structures and algorithms can make you a great engineer. One of the things that the knowledge of data structures and algorithms does for you is it gives you a wide range of tools when it comes to problem solving. Most junior engineers struggle with problem solving. Yes, you're a junior, and there are certain things that more senior engineers would help you with. But there are certain level of basic problems that I don't expect to be teaching you, right? So one of those things that would help you with your problem solving skills is having a good knowledge of data structures and algorithms. For instance, there are certain questions or there are certain problems that it's a linked list that would help you or an hash map would help you. But when you don't know what a linked list does, when you don't know what an hash map is used for, how would you even know whether to use it or not? Most of the applications that we use, they are built on top of these data structures, right? Things like Spotify, they make use of queues, they make use of stacks, right? But when you don't understand what a stack is, what a queue is, you might not be able to relate with building something like that. So if you want to give yourself an edge, try as much as possible to understand data structures and algorithms. So the third thing that I think it's a requirement or an expectation from junior engineers is understanding of version control, at least on a basic level. First of all, if you're a junior engineer and you haven't heard of version control systems, you are wrong. That is very, very bad, right? Version control systems are things like Git, Mercury, but for most of us, we use Git. Git is more popular, right? You should understand Git, GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, know how these systems work, right? We use version control systems as a means of collaboration, especially when you are working in teams, right? And it also helps keep track of changes over time. So as a junior engineer who is looking to work in a company or work in a team, it is very important that you understand how this version control system works so that at the very least you'll be able to contribute and collaborate with other engineers. So the fourth thing I was going to talk about is problem solving skills, but I think I've touched on it when I spoke about data structures and algorithms. But let me also just mention that you being a junior engineer doesn't excuse you from solving problems. See, being a developer or being an engineer at all is all about solving problems, not just about writing code. We just use code to implement the problem that we have solved. So one of the things you need to work on is before you start writing code at all, you must be able to analyze the problem and come up with a working solution. So for junior engineers, I usually don't make demands on them to come up with an optimized solution, but at the very least, you must be able to come up with a working solution. It doesn't have to be very efficient, but at least it should work. So if you're a junior engineer, that's one of the things you should work towards. So one of the things you can even do to help yourself is look at some already existing applications. Ask yourself, do I know how this is built? If I'm going to build this thing, how would I build it? And come up with a solution for it. Again, it doesn't have to be very efficient. It doesn't have to be very performant, but at least it works. So the fifth thing that I think is an expectation for junior engineers, at least from me, is debugging and troubleshooting skills. Yes, you heard me right. Debugging and troubleshooting skills. Most people attribute being able to debug or troubleshooting to just senior engineers alone. No, I'd like to think that debugging skills are in levels. There are certain issues that as a junior engineer, you should be able to resolve by yourself. It can be frustrating at times when junior engineers reach out to you on issues that the solution is clearly right there, right? I mean, there was a time that someone reached out to me and said, oh, he was having an issue with his code. And by the time we ran the code and I saw the error was something along the lines of, oh, trying to read a property of undefined. I mean, I don't know if the error could have been more explicit than what I saw, but it was just straightforward. So some of these things can be frustrating at times when you reach out to me to help you fix that kind of problem. And let me mention that I understand that these things actually come with experience, but on a basic level, there are certain things you should be able to troubleshoot and debug by yourself. So the sixth thing that I think is an expectation for junior engineers is team collaboration. Team collaboration is very essential. You'll be expected to work with other people. And when it comes to working with other people, you'd have to take feedback during code reviews, or maybe even work in line with a coding standard. So in cases like that, you should know how to collaborate and how to work in a team. You should know how to give clear communications. Whenever something is being discussed and you don't understand, you need to speak out. It is one of the soft skills that you should strive to learn. And another thing is being able to ask for help when it is needed, right? So don't spend too much time whenever you are stuck on a particular problem. Once you've spent some time, let's say 1 hour on it, reach out and ask for help. That's one of the benefits of being in a team. So the last thing I'm going to share as an expectation for junior engineers is self-motivation and initiative. See, in this tech space, motivating yourself will go a long way. Don't expect anybody to motivate you. You need to take initiative to learn and improve on your own. And this could mean taking time to learn about new tools and new concepts, or building side projects. Being proactive about your growth will help you advance faster, and it will also show your team or your manager, as the case may be, that you are committed to being a stronger developer. So for me, these are the main expectations for a junior developer. Remember that at this stage, the goal is to build a strong foundation. So don't worry about being an expert yet. Focus on improving these skills bit by bit, and you will find yourself growing steadily as a developer. So that will be all I'll be sharing in this video. Let me know your thoughts about the things I've shared, and also feel free to share more of these tips in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, keep believing, keep growing, and keep glowing. Peace.